Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and welcome to episode 319 of the podcast. How is everybody's day going? My day's pretty well. I'm actually somewhat ahead of the game, shockingly. Um, my day has been very uneventful. I got a lot of things done this week for the around the house. I want to hopefully everybody who was Jewish had a great Hanukkah. Now it's my chance to celebrate my holiday, which is coming up in about wait a minute. It's not this Monday, but the following Monday. This on the Obviously on the 25th, I'm going to be celebrating Christmas. So hopefully, we're just going to have a quiet Christmas here and whatnot. Um, uh, Programming note: Thursday at some point, I will be going live with episode 320 due to the fact is my son's coming home on Friday at noon. I'm not going to have the opportunity to do anything. So I want to get this and get it out of the way. And thankfully, thank you for the grace of gods of wrestling that we're not going to have a pay-per-view on the weekend of rest of Christmas. So I'm going to actually be able to enjoy myself and not having to worry about going live or anything like I did last month when we had Survivor Series War Games 2023. Speaking of that, why don't you go check out the review after this on the channel, and also go check out Full Gear. I will be covering World's End, and I gotta figure out when I can do the preview and predictions, which is I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's on the 30th. So I'll probably wait until after Rampage on um that Friday, which is the 29th, and I'll go live, and then you'll get again 321 on a Thursday. So there's no conflicting and everything like that. So because I have to go see my son the next day, so I have to, do what I need to do. But please do me a favor while you're here. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live, you will know about it or I upload a video. Do me a favor. Please go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all beard essentials. They also have a great, what is it? Staff over there. They are doing some really good things, and I just got to support them. Though I don't use the stuff, I just like their business model and what they're doing over there. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Get all your artillery to murder your thirst. Also, they have spring water, unfiltered, unflavored, sparkling water, flavored sparkling water, and iced tea, which finally I've gotten the trifecta and I was able to drink all of them. I highly go and get the peach and get the melon sparkling water, and if you mix them, it's a great non-alcoholic beverage for the kiddos, and they want to feel like they're special and everything. They don't know. Put them both together, and it's delicious, and it's not that bad. It's better than them drinking soda. But if you're an adult and you can consume adult beverages, they're great mixers. So you got double the pleasure, double your fun. Plus, I heard, and I'm going to confirm it now, they've actually moved here. They moved into the United States. So we're going to get the best quality, and I'm hooked. I can't wait for the new products that are coming out of Liquid Death. So go get all your essentials there at liquiddeath.com. Also, please go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com and get all your coffee essentials. And these will make great gifts. It's not too late. Go get them. Go get some subscriptions to Liquid Death. Go get some subscriptions to Maestro Classics and Death Wish Coffee. You're not going to go and you're not going to go wrong on that. So also, please, HOG, if you support independent wrestling, and we have an independent wrestling company in the tri-state area, and it is HOG Wrestling House of Glory, and they will be going head to head in a brand for brand supremacy, and it's going to be Brace for Impact. Couple things have been announced. It's going to be Saturday, January 6th, 2024, the first event off the bat. They're going to have the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the ABC Club, the Chris Bay and Austin Ace. They will be taking on the House of Glory Tag Team Champions, which is the main event. Gringo Loco versus Nolo Catano. And Josh Alexander will be in action. If you want to get your tickets, go get your tickets at hogwrestling.net. But if you can't make it, you could go and check it out on the Premier app for only $9.99 a month. So that's it. Let's get a dive into some stuff here. First subject I want to bring up is the whole situation with the TV rights deal for Monday Night Raw. Wouldn't this be the fucking kicker of all kickers? You have WWE Monday Night Raw going on to Time Warner. Meanwhile, freaking Ted Turner must be, I don't even know if he's alive or dead at this point, to be quite honest. But what do you call it? This would be hilarious. He's probably laughing right now if he's dead. Like, son of a bitch, I tried to take this company down, and now they're gonna end up on my fucking network. It's hilarious. So I think that would be hilarious. Where do you think I think it's gonna go? Honestly, I don't care. Just keep giving me great Monday Night Raws, and I don't care. I'll follow it. I will follow it. And I know I've made some declarations that I wasn't watching it. But now, since Triple H is solely in control and I know that everything is on the up and up, I can't help not watching it. It's just really, really fucking good. And I'm just, I'm in a process right now that I just hopefully that CM Punk is going to be on his best behavior, and we are going to basically get what we've been deserved for a long, long, long time. And it's that we are going to get really great professional wrestling. I mean, he legitimately took WWE by storm. He made first night with pre-sales of his t-shirts are $500,000. You're not going to tell me that he is going to be best for business. And I'm going to put this out right now. I have an AEW t-shirt on right now. I was vehemently against this company. Vehemently. I said to myself, I am going to give this company a chance. I don't want it to go away. I don't want it. The only thing I want is to stop referencing WWE and freaking concentrate on what you're concentrating, because you keep doing that. Guess what? You're fucking feeding into the narrative. Oh my God. When you were in high school, people, hold on. I'm sorry. I am so thirsty. Ooh. I just started using the what is it called? Coffee mate creamer. Pumpkin. It's delicious. Go. If you can still find it, get it. Seriously. Tony Khan needs to be a boss, and he's not being a boss. He's going to have everybody else. He does not want blood on his hands because that makes him being an actual boss. He's friends with his employees. That's not how I would roll. Triple H may be friends with or acquaintances with his roster, but they know that when they're there at the building, that's their boss. When they're at a function for WWE, fine, fraternize, do whatever. Be chummy with them. But when it comes time to put on a show, you have to figure out. And this is why people need to be kept in line and be told, this is not right, and this and this is that. You can't have people basically running amok. Yes, I took a freaking page out of Hocus Pocus, and I'm gonna. It's just I have to do this. Amok, amok, amok. I'm sorry, I had to. Sarah Jessica Parker, I had to. Yes, I know who they are. I'm not that old. I mean, I'm 41, going on 42 in like less than 6 months. But anywho, you can't have people running the asylum. All right. And I don't understand why, if you are a superstar in a company, that you're not going to listen to your boss. Or because AEW is not like WWE, where WWE is corporate, is a publicly traded company under TKO. AEW is not. And if they do go and turn this company public, they're going to have to do the exact same thing, because they're not going to be tolerated. Because now they're going to have shareholders to answer to. So just say they do get signed. Raw goes to Warner Brothers Discovery. In all actuality, if Cody Rhodes doesn't go after Roman, they have the potential of getting back the two people that they've always wanted, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. And if it does go down, and then they move to another network like Discovery or whatever, maybe what is it? Maybe the Travel Network or something that's underneath the umbrella. They're going to be considered the redheaded stepchild, and then people are not going to take them seriously, because then when sponsors come up, like, oh my God, we have WWE, but wait a minute, do you want to do business with AEW? No, I don't like their business. Tony Khan, I can't take seriously and everything. No, we're gonna stay with WWE because they're the more reputable fucking brand. And on top of the whole situation, you're going to have people in AEW like, why are we getting treated like this? We were the everything to this network. Now we're getting treated like this. I'm going to go to WWE and look at the way they're getting treated. They're getting treated like kings and queens and gods and goddesses. And I want to get treated like that. I want to be able to get on a plane and go to Australia, or get on a plane to go across to the other side of the world to promote. You're not sending me. You're sending your people that you want to send. That's another thing. I don't see them getting sent places. I don't get. They need to start doing that more and more. But I don't want AEW to die. Apparently, I'm wearing their T-shirt, and I'm proudly wearing it. I have merchandise that I bought. It may not be a lot, but it's enough that I'm supporting them. I watch the product. I report on them. What do you want me to do? I want them to keep. I just don't like their business practices. But if Tony Khan keeps this up, I think his father needs to step in and say, you know what? I've given you enough rope. You're not doing what I think you're doing. And I think we need to bring in somebody to lessen your load. That means somebody could come in and run the place. Have Tony Khan do the day-to-day operations. Get more, just keep shopping the product around. That's what he was supposed to do. We need somebody that's in charge who knows what the heck they're doing. They're not. Everybody is just basically, it's a free-for-all. And I don't like that. WWE, oh my God, you don't hear those things out of WWE. Everybody's happy now. It's like a utopia over there. Don't and you got these guys that are good friends with now Cody Rhodes and good friends with Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill says, yeah, they're treating me like a queen. Why don't you come over? I'll put a word in edgewise for you. Cody, guarantee you. He's got Ricky Starks already in his MJF is going to end up there. Is going to end up there because he's not going to want to deal with being on Discovery. He's going to want to be back on the big time. And he's putting way too much fucking work in to not be compensated. And Tony Khan needs to stop signing people. There's a fucking shitload of people coming off their no compete clause. They're going to be, oh my God, if they signed all of them, I don't want to tell you, but I told you so, but I told you so. Stop signing people. You could sign them for appearances, put them in every once in a while, but don't sign them to a full fucking contract. And I don't want to hear it, oh, they only sign them to 6 months. 6 months. That's guaranteed fucking payroll. They have to put them on the payroll and whatnot. No, you do appearances if you're going to do that. No more. No more. And that goes double for WWE. If they have a use for them, fine. Use them. Sign them. Whatever you have to do. But don't sign them just to sign them because you want to take them away from Tony Khan. Now I'm going to bring up the whole thing with Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné needs to have a contract. Does she go and is she signed to Tony? Who knows? But for the people who are going to leave her because she maybe signs with Tony Khan, then you got to stop this bullshit. She's going to go wherever she wants. And you know what? I'm going to support her. I respect her. I respect Bayley. I respect Charlotte. And I respect Becky. And I'm going to get to her in a second. You got to stop this. You really got to stop bitching and complaining on what you're going to. They're on TV. They're the same person, just with a different name, like Adam Copeland. He's still Edge, but he's Edge with his real name. He may be a little dialed up a little bit, but that's who he is. Enough of this shit. You're only making yourself look like an idiot when you're on social media. It's ridiculous. We're also possibly could be without Becky Lynch in 2024 because her contract is coming up as well as her husband. And I'm telling you, both of them are going to reap the benefits of this whole situation with CM Punk. CM Punk is helping those two get better fucking contracts because they're going to do business. And then that may instigate AJ Lee coming back to the company. Could you imagine at possibly a fucking crown jewel or a superstar spectacular or a superstar showdown or whatever the case may be over in Saudi Arabia? We're going to have a mixed tag. The Brooks versus the Lopez. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus AJ Lee and CM Punk. Oh my God. Do you understand the money that that WWE is making? And it behooves me that freaking Nick and Matt Jackson and Kenny Omega decided to stick their thumb in their fucking mouth and decided to play a baby. I don't like some of the people I work with. I don't like some of the people that I have worked with. But you know what? I worked with them because we made money. We made money and we made boatloads of it. So people got to stop this. CM Punk is now in WWE. He's under WWE control, meaning there's actual consequences going to be for his actions. And he's going to be held liable to them. And if Hi, Alyssa. How are you? I love you, girl. Oh, my sis. So if you want to keep on bullshitting and keep on fucking complaining, you do realize we benefit. WrestleMania season has never been this exciting ever in the past 15 years. All right. I am actually excited. I am excited to watch WrestleMania, to cover WrestleMania. 2 fucking years ago, I lost my fucking mother. I didn't want to deal with anything. I didn't even want to watch wrestling. I wanted to be in bed, crying my eyes out because 2 weeks prior, I lost my mother. Now wrestling has given me an outlet to basically escape. And now this makes me happy. The days that when I'm not happy, not able to get out of bed sometimes, this is what makes me happy. And WrestleMania season is going to be fucking fire, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a brand new undisputed Universal Champion, Impossible Cody Rhodes. Please praise Jesus. A possible new World Heavyweight Champion in CM Punk. Please praise Jesus. Rhea Ripley does not, she remains champion until they actually find somebody. And it's not a Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch doesn't deserve it. Becky Lynch has had her flowers. I would actually have her continue until the following WrestleMania. And then you build a story that means that she gets the WrestleMania main event, but unfortunately she'll have to put somebody else over like Charlotte did for her. You just keep passing it on. And that person, in my opinion, it should be somebody from NXT. And the person who should do it is Nikita Lyons. Because I've actually now seen her work. If she stays healthy and she doesn't get hurt, we have a next superstar on our hands. Rhea Ripley keeps it to WrestleMania 41, drops it to fucking Nikita Lyons. She wins the Royal Rumble as still part of NXT. She makes history. She goes after Rhea Ripley, and there you go. You start and you build that fucking storyline, and you give Rhea Ripley the main event night one, and there you go. What other story that is let's address the movie Iron Claw. I'm watching it. Don't worry, when this thing comes out, I'm, I'm gonna find a matinee because I ain't paying fucking full price. I'm bringing this filled with coffee, iced coffee. There's not a damn thing they can do about it. And I'm going to go and see it. I'm going to bring nice sandwich. I'm going to go enjoy myself. It'll be something that it'll be hopefully a late Christmas present or an early birthday present. I can't wait to see it. It was great seeing MJF with John Cena. And then John Cena posted a Burberry scarf on his. He knows, and I know for a fact he's talking to Triple H. He says, "You better fucking sign this guy sooner or later. You better." Yes, yes. It's enough. We've had enough. We've had enough with Roman Reigns. We've had enough with the part-time champions. He needs to go for at least a good year and a half, Roman Reigns. So we also have now WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, we might not be able to have the Queen at WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair, she could be hurt. We have massive people that are going to be, their contracts are going to be up in AEW. We have Andrade El Idolo. We have a possible Malachi Black. We have Buddy Murphy that would probably follow. Maybe a Brody King. Could you imagine the House of Black in WWE? And they're possibly looking to bring Sanity back. Could you imagine We have a feud for a year on the main roster with Sanity versus the House of Black. That's when you think about bringing trios titles or six-man tag, whatever. But that would be great. You know, you got to start looking at the bigger picture. You got these people that want to go back. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Malachi Black's wife is in WWE, Zelina Vega. Then you got Andrade El Idolo. His wife is in WWE, which is Charlotte Flair. So why would these people not want to go to join their spouses? They get to travel with them. They get to, be with them more. And it's a plus. You don't understand when two people get married and they're in two different companies. Like right now, what's her face? Mickey James and Nick Aldis. They're in two separate companies. So doesn't she wish, like, wow, he's on SmackDown? That would be great to go back. Maybe, but it also addresses the whole situation that does that play favoritism? Maybe that this will constitute, maybe if Andrade comes back and he goes on SmackDown, maybe we can have a couples feud again. Another one. This time the stakes are higher. You just got to think of other avenues. And I'm going to reiterate, you got to be happy for them. You're not paying. If you were paying their bills, they couldn't care less as long as their bills are paid. Are you personally paying their bills? Are you personally paying their car note, their house note? No, you're not. Just be happy. I'm happy for CM Punk. I would have never been a CM Punk fan if he wasn't, in AEW. I've given him a second chance. And I'm glad I did. I'm a fan of his. I know, it's shocking. But wherever he goes, I'm going to support him. And you should too. As Triple H says, if you ain't making friends, you ain't making money. All right, today we're going to switch things up. We're going to go into AEW, and then we're going to go to WWE, and then I'll get you out of here. Alyssa, your guess is as good as mine, for Christ's sakes. I mean, Roman Reigns needs to go on vacation permanently for a good possible 2 years. Go make another set of twins with your wife. Or, you know what? Get your daughter ready for college because she's 15 years old. It's going to go like this. Spend the 2 years to get her ready for college. There you go. All right, we're going to go right into Rampage. Rampage was coming from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We started off with the International Championship match, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Angelico. Orange and Angelico chain wrestled, then Cassidy loaded up for the Orange Punch. Angelico rolled to the outside to take a breather and collect his thoughts. Back in the ring, Angelico punted Orange in the hip. Orange played mind games, placing his hands in his pocket. He used a wrist lock takeover and a flying head scissors on Angelico. Orange crumbled as Angelico chop blocked him. Angelico kicked Orange's leg, inflicting more damage. Orange Cassidy is going to have to try to fight through this, said Tony Schiavone. Angelico tied up Orange Cassidy in a submission. Orange escaped and nailed Angelico with a stun dog millionaire. Orange followed up with a beach break, but he couldn't make the cover because he was writhing in pain. The crowd willed him to his feet. Orange was looking for the Orange Punch, but Serpentico grabbed Orange's leg. Angelico blasted Orange with a pump kick, and then Danhausen even up the score by grabbing Angelico's leg, tripping Angelico. Danhausen placed a curse on Angelico and then Cassidy grabbed Angelico with an Okado roll. Angelico managed to kick out of Orange, inadvertently collide with Danhausen, who was on the ring apron. Angelico twisted Orange in a grapevine ankle lock, while Serpentico had Danhausen in a camel clutch on the arena floor. Orange rolled to the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. As the ref, Paul Turner, was admonishing Angelico for not breaking the hold sooner, Serpentico tried to blindside Orange. Luckily, Danhausen was there to crack Serpentico with a low blow. Jingle bells have rung in Montreal, said Ian Riccaboni. Orange rocked Angelico with an orange punch and then pinned him. Want to see Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley at... No, it's not going to be a fucking great... I understand the whole situation that we want, but no, that's going to be not over the title. Liv has been out. She doesn't deserve to have that spot. Meanwhile, everybody has been worked all year round. She will get hers. She will get her, and she will get pulled over by mommy sooner rather than later. It's not going to be at WrestleMania. I don't want it at WrestleMania. And again, she doesn't deserve it. She's had her moment of getting the Money in the Bank, and she cashed in and she became SmackDown Women's Champion. It's not going to happen. It's not the money match. I'm sorry for Liv Morgan stands, but it's not happening. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I know I'm not Wade Barrett, but oh well. I mean, I do have a little bit of English blood in me, so, that's the closest thing I'm going to get to Wade Barrett. LOL. Abaddon versus Trish Adora. Abaddon dared Adora to strike her in the face, and then Adora complied. Trish Adora chopped Abaddon, but Abaddon shrugged them off, absorbing them. Abaddon picked up Trish by the arms and then stomped her. Abaddon cracked Trish with a knee strike and then began to pummel her with punches. Adora pump kicked Abaddon, but Abaddon got right to her feet. Abaddon connected with two thrust kicks and then pinned Trish with a black diamond. The arena lights went dark. The lights turned back on. The TBS champion, Julia Hart, was standing in the ring behind Abaddon. Julia placed the belt down in front of Abaddon, drawing the battle line. Abaddon picked up the title. The arena went dark again, and this time, when the lights came back on, Julia Hart vanished along with her title. Abaddon is having a fit, said Tony Schiavone. The Don Callis family, the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. Daniels ducked, chopped from Powerhouse, and then hit with elbows. Hobbs wasted no time and bulldozed Daniels. Hobbs body slammed Daniels halfway across the ring. Takeshita tagged in and charged at Daniels with a running spike. Sydal tagged in and dished out kicks to Takeshita. The Alpha caught Sydal looking for a front plant, but Sydal escaped and countered with a wrist lock takeover. Hobbs power slammed Sydal and covered him for a near fall. Takeshita tagged back in, but Sydal used a hurricanrana on him. Hobbs grabbed a tag, but so did Daniels. CD used a drop toe hold and then a hurricanrana on Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs signaled for the end, though, and decimated Daniels with a spine buster. Hobbs pinned Daniels after the world's most dangerous slam. We go to backstage. Renee Paquette interviewed Action Andretti and Top Flight Dante and Darius Martin. What we're not going to do is accept Penta's disrespect walking in while we were talking. But what we're going to do is accept your little 1, 2, 3 challenge. So guess what? There's three things you need to know. Action Andretti. It's a double A, don't play. Darius, it's time to step up. Dante said, or take flight. Big event. This was a Continental Classic Blue League match. Blackpool Combat Club, the American Dictator, the American Dragon, Brian Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. Garcia came out wearing trunks instead of his leather pants. Garcia grabbed a wrist lock. Danielson suplexed his way out of it. Garcia was looking for a dragon tamer, but Danielson grabbed the ropes. Danielson blasted Garcia with kicks to the hamstring and the shin. Garcia backed up Danielson with rapid fire strikes. Garcia drop kicked Danielson in the corner for a near fall. Danielson sent Garcia flying with a German suplex. Danielson taunted Garcia, dance, dance, dance. No, sorry, dance, Danny, dance. Garcia absorbed the kicks and exchanged open hand strikes with Danielson. Garcia suplexed Danielson for a near fall. Garcia tried for a powerbomb, but Danielson countered with a triangle choke. Garcia fought back, but Danielson mounted Garcia with a ground and pound. Garcia got to the ropes and forced the ref to break the hold. Garcia played possum and rolled up Danielson for an inside cradle for a 2 count. Garcia applied the Dragon Tamer on Danielson. Garcia spiked Danielson with a pile driver for a near fall. What a main event, said Daddy Magic. Garcia punted Danielson in the injured eye. Garcia stomped on Danielson, going to the orbital socket. Garcia started to dance, but Danielson seized the moment and charged at Garcia with a running knee strike. Danielson applied the label lock, and the ref stopped the match after Garcia went unconscious. We had Danielson right where we wanted him, but Garcia just had to dance, said Danny Magic. And now, less than 24 hours, Danielson must climb back into the ring to take on Andrade El Idolo, noted Tony Schiavone. So they are going to be in Texas, which will be emanating from the College Park Center in Arlington, Texas, and they're going to have Collision from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which that show will be featuring the Continental Classic Blue League match, Brian Danielson versus Andrade El Idolo, Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez, Continental Classic Blue League match, Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston, and All Ego Ethan Page versus Kenny Omega. And now we are on to Collision, because I'm going to go through that. I just got to wait till my notes. I got to cut my nails tonight because my nails are so fucking long. It's warm in my apartment, and I'm not opening the window because it's cold out, and I don't want to. AEW Collision. We are going through the standings of the Blue League. We're doing the standings. Brody King at 6 points. American Dragon, Brian Danielson, 6 points. Claudio Castagnoli, 3 points. Andrade El Idolo, 3 points. Ring of Honor World Champion, New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, Eddie Kingston, 0. And Daniel Garcia, 0. We start off with the Continental Classic Tournament Blue League match. Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston. Kingston cracked Claudio with his spinning back fix. Claudio left the ring, and Eddie followed up with a tope suicida. Things were intense right out of the gates, with Kingston trying to finish Claudio early. Claudio pancaked Kingston in the face, slammed into the mat. Good for a 2 count. Claudio clotheslined Kingston, who was on the apron of the ring. Claudio connected with a big double stomp to the sternum of Kingston. Claudio ducked a chop, but put Kingston in the giant swing. Claudio transitioned to the sharpshooter. Kingston reached the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. Claudio battered Kingston in the corner with vicious forearms. Eddie was dazed. Claudio blasted Kingston with a short arm lariat. The fans chanted, "Let's go, Eddie! Let's go, Eddie! Eddie may be out here. He can't even get his hands up," said Tony Schiavone. Claudio pulled Eddie to his feet and hoisted him up on the top turnbuckle. Claudio dug his fingernails into Eddie's back and then suplexed Eddie. Claudio grabbed a waist lock suplex for a 2 count. Claudio just toying with Eddie, asked him to fire up, said Schiavone. Eddie responded with 2 exploder suplex on Claudio for a near fall. "It looks like Eddie has flipped the switch," said Kevin Kelly. Kingston fired off machine gun chops to Claudio. Kingston rocked Claudio with a lariat for a 2 count. Claudio countered a knee strike with a suplex. Claudio applied the STF on Kingston at the 15-minute mark. Kingston crawled to the ropes and forced the ref to break the hold. Claudio went for a Ricola bomb, but Kingston tried to counter it with a spinning back fist. Claudio ducked and hit a clothesline for a 2 count on Kingston. Eddie with a hit with a half and half, and then a two spinning back fist for a near fall on Claudio. Claudio used a Hurricane Rana, but Eddie rolled up Claudio, pinning him with a cradle. Eddie Kingston stays alive. An incredible gut check win for Kingston, said Tony Schiavone. Yes. I mean, Jesus Christ, Malachi is rarely on TV. I mean, come on. Renee Paquette interviewed the FTW champion Hook backstage about his constant issues with Wheeler. Paquette, what's going on with you two? Ring of Honor Pure champion Wheeler Yuta walked onto the set and interrupted Renee before Hook could answer. Wheeler Yuta, Renee, I'll tell you what's up. Hook, you are a paper champion. Renee, you shouldn't be wasting your time with amateurs like this when you could be interviewing honorable guys like myself. Hook, yeah, we're honorable. You kicked Shibata in the balls. Wheeler, Hook, I promise. I pinned Shibata in the middle of the ring to become a record-setting 3-time Ring of Honor Pure champion. I can do it under pure rules, but I can do it under your rules too. I am tired of dealing with you. You're the one who started this. I'm ready to put you out. So let's do it under FTW rules. Hook said it's okay. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez with Diamante. Both women could be used on the main roster. Well, not the main roster, on actual AEW TV. Enough with this keeping them in Ring of Honor. It's ridiculous. I feel bad for fucking Athena at this point. Willow clocked Martinez with a clothesline. Willow clubbed Martinez with repeated shots and then a shoulder block. Willow splashed Martinez with a senton. Willow followed Martinez to the floor, and Martinez rammed Willow into the edge of the ring. Martinez whipped Willow into the steel barricade. That's one vicious lady right there, said Tony Schiavone. Martinez spiked Willow with a draping DDT off the timekeeper's table. Back in the ring, Martinez hit Willow with 2 vertical suplexes, but Willow countered with her own suplex and then face planted Martinez for a near fall. Willow smashed Martinez with a cannonball splash in the turnbuckles. Diamante jumped onto the apron, but Willow knocked her to the arena floor. Martinez used the distraction to her advantage and stunned Willow with a fisherman's bomb for a 2 count. Martinez followed up with a back driver and then another. Martinez hoisted up Willow and planted her, but Willow managed to roll up Martinez for a small package and pinned her. How did Willow do it? She shocked Kevin Kelly. Martinez and Diamante attacked Willow after the match. Diamante pulled a ladder from beneath the ring and slid it to Martinez, who used it on Willow. Chris Statlander ran to the ring with a chain wrapped around her fist. Martinez and Diamante retreated while Statlander checked on Willow. Renee Paquette interviewed Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager backstage. Hager was outraged that Danhausen had stolen his purple bucket hat. I got I got bad hat fever, said Hager. Ruby Soho showed up and began to smile at Cool Hand Angelo. Soraya and Anna Jay walked onto the set. Soraya ordered Daddy Magic to handle this situation. So basically, they traded Tony Storm with Anna Jay. Okay. They're really not the outcast. Anna Jay is an AEW original. So how are they outcast? Makes no sense, but never mind. Soraya, we've been looking for you all day. What are you hiding? Ruby said, nothing. It's cold. Soraya pulled Ruby's jacket open and saw she was wearing a Cool Hand Angelo t-shirt underneath. Soraya, you're an evil witch. You're going to leave me just like her. You have been there for me, and I'm not going to be there for you next week when you face Riho, unless you prove to me that you still want to do this. We have Warlow versus Willie Mack. So we have Willie Mack and AR Fox's friend, and you've got to be some kind of friend if you want to fight Warlow, said Kevin Kelly. Willie hammered Warlow with some strikes, and then Warlow drop-kicked Willie. Warlow rocked Willie with uppercuts in the corner. Warlow headbutted Willie Mack. Willie fired back with a standing moonsault, but Willow kicked out at 1 count. Warlow caught Willie in midair powerbombed him. Warlow powerbombed Willie Mack again and walloped Willie with a lariat. Warlow devastated Willie Mack with another powerbomb and a ref stoppage match. Warlow was victorious via ref stoppage. That was quick. The House of Black had a message for FTR, Malachi Black. So your best friend is gone, and the only people who are truly care about you, well, it's us. All ego, and that was it. All Ethan Page versus the Cleaner, Kenny Omega. I was shocked that this wasn't the main event. Ethan Page was 100% right now after being put through the table. Oh, isn't 100% right now after being put through the table by Tony Nese, noted Tony Schiavone. Omega charged into Page with shoulder tackle. Page wailed away at Omega in the corner with stiff shots. Tony Nese was seen scouting the match backstage. Ethan Page jumped through the ropes with a cutter on Omega out of nowhere. Omega immediately rolled to the outside, clearly hurt from the cutter. Page followed Omega and whipped Omega into the guardrail. Kenny put the brakes on and then hit a moonsault off the guardrail onto Ethan Page. Back in the ring, Page scoop slammed Omega. Kenny lured Page in the suplex. Page over the ropes, and both men spilled out onto the arena floor. The fans chanted, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Omega powerbombed Page and then targeted him with a V trigger for near fall. Page brought down Omega with a iconoclasm and then a DDT for a near fall. Omega retaliated with a Snapdragon suplex. Omega hit a second Snapdragon on Ethan Page. Page rocked Omega with an avalanche slam off the top for a near fall. Omega tried for the one-wing angel, but Page countered and cradled for a near fall. Kenny smashed Page with two V triggers and then finished him off with a one-wing angel, scoring the victory over Page. Standing ovation, said Nigel. After the match, Big Bill blindsided Kenny Omega with a big boot to the head. So now the World Tag Team Champions have put both the Golden Jets down, noted Kevin Kelly. Lexi Nairn interviewed CJ Perry backstage. The Redeemer, Miro, interrupted. Miro, I am your husband. I am trying to figure out when was the last time you said many good things about me, like you do about Andrade El Idolo. Why are you so mad? I told you to stay home. I'm the bread earner, and you're my queen. CJ, you are really delusional, Miro. I mean, you told me to stay home, cook, clean, and listen, and you denounce me. Make up your mind. Miro, a lady needs to get her hands dirty now and then. Again, when my dad goes fishing, my mom cleans the fish. When my dad kills the bull with his bare hands, my mom guts them. When I hunt, you clean. You don't worry. I'm not going to touch your client Andrade in this tournament. But once he is finished, so is he. Penta El Zito Mieno, Commander versus Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. The hometown crowd chanted Daddy Magic, Daddy Magic. And then after this match, he was seen on video grabbing his kid. I love that shit. That's like kryptonite for me. Seriously. Penta El Zero Mieno punted Daddy Magic in the face. Menard offered his hand to Penta, shook it, and blindsided him. Commander and Parker tagged in for their respective teams. Commander took down Parker with two arm drags and a drop kick. Commander and Penta used tandem offense on Parker. Menard charged in and staggered, but two stereo thrust kicks. Penta monkey flipped Commander into Parker and Menard. Commander and Penta went for double dives, but Menard and Parker crashed the party with stereo forearms. Penta rallied back with his sling blades to Menard and Parker. Commander and Penta connected with double thrust kicks to Parker and Menard. The fans chanted, "This is awesome," and I would agree, said Shivani. Menard applied the Montreal crab to Penta, but Commander charged in and broke it up. Penta picked up Parker for a fear factor, and then Commander walked the ropes and crashed onto Parker more than enough to score the pin on Cool and Angela Parker. So that was that. Shocking that he didn't win. So we have the main event. Continental Classic Tournament Blue League match. Blackpool Combat Club, Brian Dictator. Sorry, I keep calling him a dictator. I mean, sorry. Brian Danielson versus Andrade El Idolo. The crowd seemed to evenly split respective chants for both Andrade and Danielson. Andrade had a tight side headlock on Danielson, putting pressure on Danielson's surgically repaired orbital socket. Andrade's shoulders blocked Danielson, but Danielson came back with a suplex. Danielson kicked Andrade, but Andrade countered with a dragging screw leg whip. Andrade tried to smash Danielson with the double knees, but Danielson dodged it. Danielson rocketed out of the ring with a dive to Andrade. Andrade ripped off Danielson's protective mask and nailed him in the eye with a forearm. Danielson was busted open. Andrade El Idolo applied the figure four to Danielson in the center of the ring. Danielson rolled and managed to reach the ropes. Andrade headbutted Danielson on the top turnbuckle. Andrade put his thumb in Danielson's eye socket. They hit one another with open palm strikes. Danielson slapped Andrade off the turnbuckles. Danielson connected with a missile dropkick. Danielson punished Andrade El Idolo with roundhouse kicks. Danielson tried the wheel block, but Andrade fought it off. Both men went down and they collided with one another with clotheslines. The fans chanted, "Fight forever, fight forever." Andrade suplexed Danielson at the 15-minute mark. Air bubble, grabbed a near fall with the three amigos. Suplex. Andrade climbed to the top turnbuckle looking for a moonsault, but Danielson countered with an avalanche belly to back suplex for a 2 count. Danielson applied the label lock and screamed for the Andrade to tap. Andrade escaped and caught Danielson with his spinning back elbow for a near fall. Danielson's eye was swelling up. Both men peppered one another with stiff shots to the face. Andrade smashed Danielson with another spinning elbow and then rocked him with a double knee in the corner. Andrade and Danielson with an arm bar DDT and pinned the American Dragon. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen an unforgettable match here tonight, said Tony Schiavone. Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta ran to the ring to check on Danielson. Claudio shoved Andrade away, but Andrade was merely trying to check on Danielson. The concern right now is the condition of Bryan Danielson and Tony, said Tony Schiavone. So we're going to go right into Dynamite. Tonight, we AEW was going from Winter is Coming in the College Park Center in Arlington, Texas. We are going to go over the standings for the Gold League standings for the Continental Classic. Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, 9 points. Swerve Strickland, 9 points. Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade, Jay White, 6 points. LFI's Roosh, 3 points. Mark Briscoe, 0 points. And Jay Lethal, 0 points. We have the Blue League standings for the Continental Classic. House of Blacks, Brody King, 6 points. Andrade El Idolo, 6 points. Blackpool Combat Club, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, 6 points. Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, 3 points. Ring of Honor World Champion, New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, Eddie Kingston, 3 points. And Daniel Garcia, 0 points. Sorry. Dynamite started with Samoa Joe walking to the ring to kick off the show. Samoa Joe. I've come here tonight looking for answers. Not long time ago, I made a promise to MJF I would keep him whole until world's end, when I would dismantle him myself. Last week, I was made into a liar when I came out here to chastise of the devil. I looked up at the screen and I saw MJF laying in the back, potentially jeopardizing my AEW World Championship opportunity. But if that's the case, if MJF can't compete, he gets the title automatically. How now one can't stand on the tracks of destiny and not get run over? So let me explain to you what's going to happen tonight. You see, when I walked in the back last week with MJF laying on the ground, I saw a beer bottle, a certain beer brand that certain cowboy likes, busted over MJF's head. And then I got closer. I noticed a certain scent of Stetson and disappointment. I said to myself, I smelt this before. And then as I walked around the building searching high and low for this cowboy, it seemed like certain Hangman was missing. Hangman, Adam Page, music came up and Page went to the ring. What if someone is trying to frame Hangman Adam Page? What if MJF is trying to frame Adam Page? Ask Excalibur. Hangman Adam Page. Joe, if there's something that you want to accuse me of, why don't you say it like a man? I thought you were. If you think it's me, if you think I have anything to do with it, if you think I give a damn about the devil, you'd be so wrong, because I don't care. Samoa Joe, Hangman, you may not care, but you see, you made the mistake of thinking I came out here like a detective. I've already made up my mind. I'm an executioner. Hangman Adam Page. I mean, look what he did to Rollins when he was the henchman of Triple H, which I loved. Page, Well, Joe, if there's something that you want to do it to do about it. Why don't you? Roderick Strong walked onto the ramp with the kingdom, and he was screaming, "Samoa, Samoa Joe! You were lucky that they didn't hurt you last week. But I hate to say this, you got to listen to Hangman. I mean, he's my young boy and all. I never forgot about that. And listen, have you seen things? Have you seen the things that have been happening, Joe? Jay White asked for a world title match. He gets attacked. The Acclaim loses a tag team match for Max, and they get attacked. The Goons attack Max on the 29th, but they don't lay a single shot on him, and you come to his aid. And last week, we never saw a physically touch him. We saw him lying there. Come on, Joe, think. It's obvious. Max is the devil. Come on, Joe. I wouldn't like I wouldn't like to lie to you. I'm not talking to you, Adam. I'm talking to my best friend by proxy, Samoa Joe. Adam swung at Roderick and knocked him to the mat. So we have Roderick Strong versus Adam Page. That match is a great match altogether. Samoa Joe left the ring and pointed at Adam Page as he was exiting. As Page had his back turned, Roderick Strong blindsided Page. Strong stomped on Page in the corner. Hangman retaliated with stiff chops to Roderick Strong. And I gotta clean my glasses. Give me a second. Jesus Christ. Page sent Strong flying with an overhead slam. Page hit a standing shooting star press for a near fall. Roderick connected with a backbreaker. Page blasted Roderick with a high cowboy boot to the face. Roddy used a single leg takedown and then drove his knee into Page's chest. Roddy charged at Page, but Page flipped him over the top rope and followed up with a toe peg, crashing down on Roddy on the arena floor. Page climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Matt Tavern grabbed a hold of Page's boot. Mike Bennett distracted ref Aubrey Edwards while Roddy kicked Page in the head. The opening was there. Roderick took advantage of it. The referee couldn't see it, said Taz. And it just went a little too far. Roderick Strong nailed to Hangman Adam Page with a backbreaker on the turnbuckles. Roddy grabbed a top wrist lock. Page escaped and exchanged forearms with Roderick. Both men went from rolling elbows and they collided with one another, each being knocked down. Adam Page got a second win and began to stop a Texas mud hole in Roddy. Hangman planted Roddy with a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Adam Page chomped on Roddy's forehead. Page went for a moonsault. Roddy dodged it, but Page landed on his feet. Roddy charged at Page, but Page took him down with a pop-up powerbomb for a near fall. Page looked for a deadeye, but Roddy broke free and pancaked Page for a 2 count. Roderick followed up with a suplex and then a tiger driver for a near fall. Roderick looked on with the stronghold, but Page reached the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. Page was searching for a buckshot lariat, but Tavern grabbed Page's boot. Bennett distracted the ref on the other side. Page wiped out Tavern with a moonsault. Page went back up top and tore down the Kingdom with another moonsault, this time from the ring post. Hangman went for a buckshot lariat, but Roddy had it scouted and went to apply the stronghold. Page countered and with a roll up, but Roddy kicked out. Page hit the deadeye on Strong and pinned him. Both these guys left it all in the ring, said Taz. A great return from Hangman Adam Page, replied Excalibur. We go into the Continental Classic Blue League match. Andrade El Idolo versus the House of Black's Brody King. Brody backed up Andrade into the ropes. Andrade applied the headlock and took Brody down to the mat. Brody escaped and squashed Andrade with a senton. Big Brody pummeled Andrade in the corner with chops and then landed a solid elbow strike. Andrade connected with a big crossbody press, but Brody kicked out of at 1 count. Brody rolled out of the ring, but Andrade followed up with a moonsault in the middle of the turnbuckle to Brody on the arena floor. Andrade drop kicked Brody in the knee, and Brody's momentum sent him crashing into the turnbuckles. Andrade nailed Brody with two dragon screw leg whips. Andrade took down Brody with a flying elbow strike. Andrade El Idolo body slammed Brody. Andrade followed up with a split-legged moonsault for a near fall. The fans chanted, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Brody rocked Andrade with a lariat for a 2 count. Brody connected with a cannonball splash in the corner on Andrade El Idolo. Brody and Andrade exchanged chops. Brody stunned Andrade with forearms, but Andrade answered with a spinning back elbow. Andrade El Idolo climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Brody got to his feet. Brody knocked Andrade down with an elbow strike. Both men jockeyed for positions on the top turnbuckle. Andrade pulled Brody's head down, spiking it on the exposed turnbuckle. Andrade followed up with a hammerlock DDT and pinned Brody King. Andrade picked up 3 crucial points in the Blue League, said Excalibur. Renee Paquette was backstage with the legendary WWE Hall of Famers, Von Erich and Kevin Von Erich and his sons, Marshall and Ross Von Erich, who made their return to Dallas. Kevin Von Erich. Renee, I love AEW, the style, and I've got so many friends here too. Danhausen walked onto the scene, interrupting along with the international champion Orange Cassidy and Trent. Orange, hey, I got a match on Rampage this week. I need 2 partners. How about you guys tag up with me on Rampage? Danhausen, hey, you're betraying us. Orange, no. Orange, what? No, we're in Texas. So what do you guys say? Marshall and Ross Von Erich agreed, saying they're gladly to have Orange's back. Triple H, you need to get these guys. If you want to put the tag team division on their backs, that's the guys to do it. They are marketing. Imagine having the Von Erichs back in WWE. Out next, the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Dallas, welcome to the return of the Golden Jets. I think that this is the first ever Golden Jets chant, Jericho said with a smile. Jericho, the reason why it's been a while since we've been here is because Big Bill and Ricky Starks, they attacked me after Full Gear, pretty much dislocated my elbow, put me out for 3 weeks. Last week, Kenny's great match with Ethan Page. Big Bill kicked Kenny in the face and put him down on the ground. I spent 3 weeks thinking of what I was going to say to Big Bill and Ricky Starks. It's pretty simple. Hey, boys, get your sorry asses out here. So they went out. Starks, wow, did you miss me? Point proven. Chris, I find this whole situation to be funny. I have no problem with you, Kenny. I want to say thank you for this great place we have called AEW. And you, Chris, there's nothing really to thank because you just sucked the light out of everything here. And it makes me question you, Kenny, because do you really think you could trust a guy like Jericho? I mean, look at the Inner Circle. Look at JAS. Look at what he has done to those people in the past. Big Bill, Kenny, look at the things that Chris has actually done to you. If Chris attacked you randomly on a drop of a dime, me, Ricky, nobody here would actually be surprised. Just saying. Kenny Omega. So you're basing this off my trust between myself and Chris Jericho. Do I trust Chris Jericho? Chris, you know I don't trust you. Look, Big Bill, you're talking about track records. Let's look at something from your past. The Firm. For example, everyone remembers The Firm. I can't say that I do. Yikes. I'm so glad I put it in the bigger cup. I would say that the firm angle you have with MJF is more like the flaccid thing, flaccid looking less firm and a little bit more up your alley. Something say, I don't know soft, the SAF. It's a play on words. But hey, when it comes to beatdowns, I'm pretty much the king of receiving them. So hey, you guys think you can talk a big game? That's fine. We earn ourselves a tag team title down the road. And guess what? On December 30th at World's End, we're thinking maybe the Golden Jets can maybe take those two titles off the waist and place them firmly around ours. What do you say about that? Ricky Starks. That's all well, fine, and good. And we understand you two are the number one contenders. I'm going to speak for both of us and say, hey, guess what? You're on. But before we even get to the World's End, just let me remind you, Chris, I hope you remember January because back in January, I actually beat you on Dynamite. Big Bill, correction. You actually beat him twice. You beat him on a pay per view also. Starks. So far, as far as I'm concerned, I've already done half the work. I know you and in and out. I know what you're all about. We are the best tag team that there is because we are the AEW tag team champions without a name. Chris Jericho. It's funny. Starks. You keep bragging that you don't have a name. I think you need a name. How about this? The Absolute Shits. I got it. How about we take the first name and then his last name? Ladies and gentlemen, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Big Billy Starks. Starks, well, that one fell flat. Jericho kind of did. Starks, I can excuse the name, but I cannot excuse the outfit. When you went to your local Hot Topic and said, hey, give me the best stuff you got. Jericho, listen, you said, I'm a clown, vampire. Believe me, if I was, um, if I was going to suck the fangs into somebody, I do it with somebody with more clout than you. Because from where I'm standing, all I see is a better dressed, less charismatic version of Enzo Amore. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Omega. Hey, let's give Enzo credit. At least he would have hyped up Big Bill and not take all the spotlight. Starks. Well, I think you guys have taken the spotlight a little too far, in my opinion. But regardless, I want you to know something. You talk about the way I dress. You talk about Big Bill, Chris, Jericho. No one cares anymore. I'm sick and tired of you and Kenny. You're starting to piss me off, brother. You want a war? Bring it. World's End. Me and Big Bill will take you two on because we are the best tag team there is, bar none. Nobody better. And if you think we've got something better than me and Big Bill, prove it. You two Winnipeg scumbags. Omega. Well, now you've brought out the big guns. I might as well need to sit and stew for a minute. So, much like those tag team belts on December 30, I must bid you adieu. Good night, goodbye, bang. For Jericho. We'll see you on December 30, Starks and Big Bill. All right. Why are we seeing Riho back? There's no reasons for her. What she should be doing is possibly helping out in Ring of Honor. She needs to do some time there. Have a big name in the women's division. Has Athena even faced her? You're going to need somebody to take that title off. Are you going to continually put it on Athena? Athena needs to be going against Tony Storm right now, or J. Julia Hart. Outcasts. Ruby Soho versus Riho. AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Tony Storm joined the broadcast booth for this match. She's accompanied by Mariah May. Kill me now. Kill me fucking now. Ruby stomped Riho in the corner. Ruby body slammed Rio, but Rio followed up with a drop kick. Rio suplexed Ruby and then squashed with a double foot stomp. Rio climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Ruby knocked her off balance. Rio managed to secure herself and crashed down on Ruby Soho like a bolt of lightning. Double stomped her. Rio connected with a big crossbody press for a near fall. Ruby rocked Rio with a kick to the side of the head. Rio planted Ruby with a crucifix bomb for a near fall. Ruby fired back with no future kick, but Rio kicked out at two. Rio stunned Ruby with a dragon suplex and then pinned Ruby after running a knee strike. Do I care? Do I care? Continental Classic Gold League match. LFI, Roosh versus Jay Lethal. At least this is not the match of the Jays at this point. Roosh splashed Lethal in the corner. Lethal fired back with a basement dropkick and did his strut. Roosh hit a German suplex and followed up with a knee strike. Roosh whipped Jay Lethal into the steel guardrail outside the ring. Lethal chopped Roosh off the turnbuckles. Lethal shocked Roosh with a lethal connection. Lethal tried to apply the figure four, but Roosh rolled him up for a near fall. Lethal countered with Roosh's discus lariat with a kick to the head. Lethal charged at Roosh, but Roosh nailed Lethal with a belly-to-belly suplex in the turnbuckle. Roosh countered with a lethal injection with a sleeper, and Lethal tapped out. Roosh has not forgotten how Jon Moxley put him to sleep 1 week ago, said Excalibur. Continental Classic Gold League match. Bullet Club's Gold, Switchblade Jay White versus Mark Briscoe. Before we get into this match, I want to make this abundantly clear. WWE on Fox could care less of what they tweeted. Okay? You could tag Triple H all you fucking want. He could bring it up to them. Are they going to change it? Absolutely not. They did what they wanted to do, and they had probably no prior knowledge of Ring of Honor. So, can we not make this such a big deal? Jesus Christ. Briscoe wasted no time going right after Jay White. Briscoe hit a Death Valley driver. The fans chanted, "Dem boys, dem boys, dem boys." If you know, you know. Briscoe climbed to the top and smashed White with a froggy bow. White rolled out of the ring. Mark chopped at Jay White back in the ring. Briscoe chomped on Jay White's head. Jay White hurled Mark out of the ring, and Mark shoulder collided on the ring apron. Mark blocked the Blade Runner with a redneck kung fu. Jay White hit a basement dropkick and then a DDT on Mark Briscoe. Briscoe wiped out White with a massive lariat. Mark employed the redneck kung fu once again. Mark nailed Jay with a cactus elbow drop off the ring apron. I don't know if you know this, but one of the Bushwhackers is actually Jay White's grandfather. Just a little FYI, little tidbit of information. If the more you know, you know. Jay White escaped Mark's attempt of a splash mountain. White connected with an elbow strike. Mark signaled for the Jay Driller, but White countered with a dragon screw leg whip out of nowhere. Briscoe was clutching his knee. White walloped Mark with a sleeper suplex. White served up a second sleeper suplex on Mark. Mark countered the Blade Runner with a side suplex. Mark went for another froggy bow, but Jay White countered and by raising his knees into Mark's ribcage. White pinned Mark Briscoe, planting him with a Blade Runner. And that was that. Main event time, Continental Classic Gold League match, Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland. This is what we were waiting for. This was a really fucking great match. It's iced coffee, people. So if you think it's anything else, you're out of your mind. And it's not even a Stanley Cup. This is a beast, and this is just as good as Stanley Cup. I just don't have a handle, which I don't care at this point because I don't take it anywhere. The fans were on their feet as this match began, chanting AE-dub, AE-dub. Mox applied a hammerlock. Swerve escaped and taunted Moxley. Both men were playing mind games early on. Moxley and Swerve traded strikes in the center of the ring. Swerve kicked out Moxley's legs and spiked Mox with a DDT off the turnbuckles. Swerve rammed Mox into the steel ring post. Mox retaliated with a lariat out of the corner. Mox planted Swerve with a standing pile driver for a near fall. Moxley trapped Swerve in the apron skirt and then crotched him on the apron skirt cord. Basically pulled up the thing and basically did what they do on the top rope. Moxley launched Swerve into the steel ring step. Back in the ring, Mox clocked Swerve with a clothesline at the halfway mark. Swerve smashed Mox with a backbreaker. Swerve accelerated off the ropes with back elbow. Moxley nailed Swerve with a cutter, but Swerve kicked out of the cover. Mox spiked Swerve with a gotch-style pile driver for a 2 count. Swerve and Mox exchanged headbutts. Swerve rocked Mox with a flatliner. Swerve connected with a high boot on a target for a near fall. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Swerve used a hammer and anvil elbow strikes on Moxley. Swerve followed up with a house call kick. Swerve was looking for the Swerve stomp, but Mox knocked Swerve off the turnbuckle. Swerve fell to the arena floor. Moxley mauled Swerve with a curb stomp. Thank you, Mr. Seth Rollins. As Swerve rolled back into the ring, Moxley applied the cross arm breaker on Swerve's injured right arm. Swerve managed to reach the ropes with a boot to force the ref to break the hold. Moxley grabbed a steel chair from the outside ring, but Swerve jumped over the top rope and crashed onto Moxley. Swerve landed on Moxley with a Swerve stomp to outside the ring. I think I just read that. No, I didn't. Sorry. Yes. Swerve climbed to the top rope and hit a Swerve stomp on Mox, but Mox kicked out at 2. Moxley countered with a JML driver with a roll up and cradled and pinned Swerve. Jon Moxley, I think he may have been even grabbed the belt for what added leverage, said Excalibur. He sure did. He grabbed with both hands, replied Tony Schiavone. Jon Moxley stealing a victory and stealing a crucial 3 points. Jon Moxley now sits at the top of the table with 12 points and the highest overall total, said Excalibur. So we go to the outside, and that's when all hell breaks loose. Outside the arena, 4 masked assailants with the Devil's Mask logo on the back of their hoodies attacked Hangman Adam Page. He is outnumbered 4-1. Excalibur, someone is in that car, said Taz. The person in the devil mask exited the car and knobbed at the assailants. The masked men powered bombed Adam Page through the glass windshield of the car. The devil and his goons are destroying Hangman Adam Page, said Excalibur, as Page was writhing in pain. So they will be next week They will be from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Tonight is Final Battle. If anybody wants to watch it, I'm going to try to tune in at some point. And let's see. They will be in Collision, which is tomorrow night. They will be from the Curtis Cultwell Center from Garland, Texas, and then you'll know where they'll be. Now let's get to WWE, and then I'll get you out of here. And hopefully, I'll get you out of here before 2.5 hours, because I like to enjoy the rest of my Friday evening. You know, it is what it is here. Let's get you to last week's SmackDown, which the promo from CM Punk was chef's kiss. I am telling you, that should have been on Monday, but WWE, and I will always feel this. Bruce Pritchard has a fucking vendetta. And I know he's got a vendetta. You want to know why? Because he friggin' is Vince McMahon's puppet boy. Now he doesn't answer to Vince anymore. He answers to Nick and Ari and Triple H. And he doesn't like that. Hey Chris, how are you? And I'm telling you, he is not liking this. And slowly but surely, he will be phased out. And I believe that Road Dogg Jesse James will be taking his spot. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The next person that needs to go and fucking retire is Kevin Dunn. But we have to get a replacement, because I'm going to say something that I can't believe I'm going to say. And he actually does a fantastic job. But he shouldn't be making any creative decisions, you know? So that will be that, you know. I just, it is what it is at this point, you know. So while we get everything situated for the WWE portion, please do me a favor while you are here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications, so when I go live or upload a video, you'll know about it. So we have SmackDown. SmackDown was the tribute to the troops last week. And the lineup was Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, Randy Orton and LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. The return of CM Punk to SmackDown. Cody Rhodes has an appearance. The WWE United States title tournament. First round, Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. WWE United States title tournament. First round, Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. And I did watch Deadline, but I didn't cover it. I wanted to enjoy myself on a Saturday evening. And you know what? I only watched the first fucking match and then I fell asleep. We started off with the United States title tournament, first round, Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar goes out to the ring. Dragon Lee and everything. Dominic goes out. Dominic was there, which I'm one happy bitch. So the match begins with Lee sends Santos out of the ring. Santos gets back in the ring, and Lee hits him with a Hurricane Rana, sending him out of the ring. Lee dives onto him. He sends Escobar back into the ring and attacks him in the corner. Lee with a super kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Escobar trips Lee on the ropes. He follows it with a neck breaker, cover 1-2 kick out. Escobar attacks him in the corner. Escobar sends sent to the apron. Lee goes for the Hurricane Rana, but Escobar catches him and hits a powerbomb on the apron. Lee fights back and knocks down Escobar. Lee super kicks Escobar. He drop kicks him in the corner. Cover 1-2 kick out. Escobar hits a German suplex. Escobar comes back with a super kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lee comes back with a sit-out powerbomb. Lee kicks him out of the ring. Lee sends him into the ring. Lee climbs the top rope but is stopped. Escobar hits the Phantom Driver for the win, and Santos moves on. This made no sense, especially what happened on Saturday. I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. So Dragon Lee loses, but then it gets the North American Championship. Please make that make sense. He should have lost, because now that title goes from one main roster talent to another. Makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense at all. After the match, Dominic gets in the ring and spits on Lee, and then he walks away. Nick Aldis is in his office, and Randy Orton walks and offers a check. He said he found out today that Nick has him teaming with LA Knight against Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, and asks why. He says he didn't even know him. Nick says he wants to see that match take place, and so does the fans. He then points out that the check was made out for $100,000, and Orton informs him it's for next time, meaning the fine that he was getting for RKOing Nick Aldis was $50,000, but he paid $100,000 because then he could do it again without having to worry. We go to commercial break. We come back. Cody Rhodes goes to the ring, gets on the mic, and he says, tonight's a special night since it's tribute to the troops. He thanks the servicemen and women in attendance and all those at home. A video package just depicting the history of the tradition plays. Cody thanks the armed forces, and then he welcomes the U.S. Army drill team. The U.S. Army drill team comes out, and they perform their drill. We go to the United States title tournament, first round, Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. We come back from commercial break, and we actually get a complete fucking entrance of Karrion Kross's entrance. I was blown away. I said, Merry Christmas to me. The match begins with Kross attacks Lashley in the corner. Kross knocks him down, and Lashley rolls out of the ring. Lashley comes back with a clothesline. He sends him into the ring and attacks him in the corner. Lashley with a belly-to-belly suplex and knocks him out of the ring. We come back from commercial. Kross attacks Lashley in the corner. He hits a suplex, cover 1-2 kick out. Kross kicks Lashley in the face, cover 1-2 kick out. Lashley puts Kross on the mat. He hits a clothesline and attacks him in the corner. Lashley with a neck breaker follows it with a suplex. Lashley slams Kross in the mat. He hits a spear for the win, and Bobby Lashley wins. Well, no shit. He's a former fucking military guy. They weren't going to do that. And I think Kross needs to get the hell out of WWE ASAP. We go to backstage with Asuka training, warming up for her match. Bayley walks in and apologizes for the last week. She says she hasn't learned her lesson from last week and volunteers to stay backstage tonight. Dakota Kai says that's a good idea. They will be ringside for Asuka's match, and they walk away. We come back from commercial break. CM Punk heads out to the ring. Punk said he's not going to get his time cut and asks the fans to chant. He says Adam Pearce is trying to sign him to Raw. He said he's going to leave it to fans where he signs. He asks the fans where he should sign. He asks the fans if he wants him to win the Royal Rumble, and they clearly cheer loudly. Punk says he's famous for talking, but he has been listening, and he hears that there are a few people that are are upset with him. He said he's about to get comfortable. He's asked who should he talk about. He mentions Roman Reigns name, and he says he acknowledges him. He said he is the OG Paul Heyman guy. He says Heyman was his first. He says Heyman was his wise man first. He says Roman is not here, but his cousins are here. He gives a shout out to Jey Uso on Raw. He asks if he could tag with Orton. He says LA Knight will tag with him. Punk says maybe he can tag or fight Kevin Owens. He says they're too much alike. He asks who would want to work with someone who can randomly punches people in the face. Uh Boom! Atomic bomb right there. He says everybody has welcomed him back with open arms except for one guy. He says that is because he's not the man in his own household. Atomic bomb twice. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's going to obliterate the entire fucking roster at this point. Punk said he's so glad to be on this journey. He says they will find out where he signs on Raw. He said he has a call scheduled for Shawn Michaels over the weekend, and he will make his decision on Raw. He said he's back to finish everything he started. He said he's going to main event WrestleMania. So then he was over in Deadline. I mean, Jesus Christ. He was, I don't understand why people were so shocked that he was at Deadline. I mean, he freaking on his Instagram, which he blocked me for no apparent reason. I have no idea why he blocked me. I have never commented on him. I've only liked pictures. So how the hell did he comment? I mean, how the hell did he block? I'm going to try to get on the good graces. I'm going to possibly tweet him out very gingerly and say, please, I don't know what I did. I just never commented on anything. Why am I blocked on Instagram? Please, for the love of God. There's my handle. Please go into your blocks and unblock me. That would be appreciative. They do this all the time. I get mentioned or I get tagged into something and I get blocked. Maybe I shouldn't maybe I really should not get tagged into things anymore. Save me the heartache. Punk says he's so glad to be out on this journey. Okay, we're finished with that. Sorry. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. We come back from commercial break. Punk is walking backstage and he sees the Bloodline's locker room. He runs into Kevin Owens and asks about Nick Aldis's office. Owens says no, because he's asked where is it? Have you know where it is? And he asks no, and he was walked away. Before this match got started, Zelina Vega and Michin attacked Damage Control. Shotzi and Bianca Belair also came out to brawl with them, so it was going to be one-on-one. The match begins with Flair hits a back suplex on Asuka. Charlotte hits a clothesline on Asuka, who rolls out of the ring. Flair goes for a chop and catches the post. Asuka hits knees to her face. Flair back suplexes Asuka on the barricade. She then hits a moonsault on Asuka. We go to commercial break. Flair sends Asuka into the second turnbuckle. Flair goes for a figure 8, but Bailey interrupts her and distracts her. Flair hits Bailey and Asuka rolls her up for the win. Charlotte is somewhat injured. We don't know the extent. We will find out tonight on SmackDown. Nick Aldis is with CM Punk. He asks him to look over the contract and call him. Cody walks in and says he heard what he said out there. He says Punk, to finish his story, he would need to win the Royal Rumble. He shakes his hand and walks away. We come back from commercial break. We have Randy Orton and LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. We come back from another commercial break. LA Knight, the match begins and Orton attacks Jimmy Uso. Knight tags in and attacks Jimmy Uso. He knocks him down. Orton tags in and they argue. Jimmy also tags out. Jimmy attacks him from behind. We go to commercial break. Back with a Orton with a back suplex on Jimmy. Both men tag out. Knight attacks Solo Sequoia and hits a shining neck breaker. Knight attacks Sequoia in the corner. Jimmy gets on the apron and Knight knocks him down. Solo hits a belly to belly suplex. Sequoia hits a suplex on Knight. Cover 1-2 kick out. Solo hits Knight in the corner. He tags out Jimmy, attacks Knight, and tags out. Solo goes for a hip attack and misses. Knight hits a bulldog from the second rope. Both men tag out, and Orton hits Jimmy with a couple of clotheslines and follows it with a power slam. Jimmy drags him out the ring. Orton hits a back suplex on the announcer table. He sends Jimmy into the ring and hits a draping DDT. Solo attacks Orton from behind. Knight him with a DDT. Knight goes for a BFT, but Orton intercepts and hits an RKO for the win. And Randy Orton and LA Knight pick up the victory. That is that. Tonight we're going to be graced by the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm wondering what he's going to say about Punk calling him out. This should be interesting. And finally, we go to Monday Night Raw, and hopefully I can get you out of here quickly. And it's more or less than 2 hours, especially with what I've been. I just, it is what it is. We'll hear from CM Punk where he made his decision, which we all knew where it was, because once Orton signed with SmackDown, it was kind of like, all right, what are we doing all of this? And if everybody thought he was going to NXT, please, for the love of God, stop the delusional. Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura, a match that did not need to be happening. Maxine Dupree versus Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre, and Becky Lynch calls out Nia Jax. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. Raw opens a package of the show, and Jey Uso theme song plays, and he walks out to the ring. He gets on the mic and says he's got Yeet's back. So WWE paid or whatever the case may be, and he's got Yeet back. He says he's excited about CM Punk being in the building. Jay says last week Sami Zayn was injured by the hands of Drew McIntyre. He says Drew came after Sami, him and Seth Rollins. He says he's two-faced, but tonight he's goes face to face with Drew McIntyre. McIntyre comes out. He says he does not want CM Punk in the locker room because he will destroy this place from the inside out. He said this is about Jay. He says Seth got what he deserved. He says he may not have a little to do with Sami back is at home. He says Sami made it personal. He apologizes, but Jay's is incapable of apologizing. He says everything is not forgiven. Jay says Drew is about to get beaten. I want to check to see if there was any notifications from Ringside News at this point. So we go into this match. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. Jey sends Drew out of the ring. Go to commercial break. Drew sends Jey to the apron. Jey kicks him out in the head and hits him with a crossbody. McIntyre sends Jey into the turnbuckle. He viciously attacks him. Drew hits a suplex. He stomps him. Jey tries to fight back, but Drew knocks him down. Jey rolls out of the ring. Drew goes for the Claymore and crashes into the announcer's table. Jey hits him with a suicide dive. We go to commercial break. Drew throws Jey off the top rope. He tries to fight back, but Drew headbutts him. Drew goes for a dive off the top rope and misses. Jey with a Samoa drop covers 1-2 kick out. Drew comes back with a neck breaker. Drew goes for a Claymore, but Jey catches him with a super kick. He then goes for a splash, but Drew gets his knees up. Drew hits a Future Shock DDT, cover 1-2 kick out. Drew goes for a Claymore, but Jey hits him with a spear, cover 1-2 kick out. McIntyre pokes Jey in the eye and then hits a Claymore for the win. McIntyre picks up the win. We come back from commercial break. A video package of Shinsuke Nakamura saying that he watched him week after week. He calls Cody a dog chasing a car. He says Cody is not enough. Shinsuke says Cody is weak because he yearns for admiration from the fans. He says he has been reborn and will bring an end to Cody's story. Nakamura says Cody asked for this. Judgment Day are backstage. Finn asks Dominic and JD to shut up, and the wheels are falling off. Rhea says Dominic lost the NXT North American Championship. Damian says people are not showing up to Raw. Sucks. He says they are going to handle things Judgment Day style. Rhea and Damian argue. She says it is time they remind people they run Raw, and she will make the example of Maxine Dupree. I don't know how Maxine Dupree got a fucking opportunity at the women's champion. The Alpha Academy is backstage and getting pumped up. Ivy Nile says she'll be ringside. R-Truth walks in and said he is going to decorate the Judgment Day clubhouse. Chad Gable warns him about this and says he's not part of the group, but R-Truth disagrees. For the love of God, please stop this. He needs to be doing something else. This group was a force to be reckoned with, and now it's a joke. I'm tired of this. Rhea Ripley versus Maxine Dupree. We come back from commercial break. Alpha Academy theme song plays. Maxine goes out with Ivy Nile. The match starts with Maxine slaps Rhea and this infuriates her. Rhea attacks her multiple times. She goes for a power bomb, but Maxine reverses it into the Hurricane Rana. Maxine hits her with a dropkick. Rhea knocks down Maxine. She then hits the Riptide for the win. Rhea locks in the Prism, which is the reverse of Texas Cloverleaf Prism Trap, and Maxine taps out. Was not necessary. Adam Pearce walks into CM Punk's dressing room. Come back from commercial break. Adam Pearce is in the ring. He says the time for a sales pitch is over. He says CM Punk needs to make the decision. He then introduces CM Punk. CM Punk heads to the ring. CM Punk says hearing the fans made his mood better. He says he has a huge decision to make, and he's been thinking about it all week. He says he has been so consumed about it because he loves the fans. He says this building hasn't been kind to him. He said there's a lot of ghosts in this arena. He says he debuted in this building. He says he had Mickey James on his arm. He then says he got sent to OVW. Punk said he didn't want to go, but he embraced being uncomfortable and learned to love it. He narrates now that Now he was stripped of the world title. He said he's is focused on the future. Punk says he had to make the hardest decision of his life and he walked out. He says he understands if the fans are disappointed. He walked out and he apologizes. He says he listened to Nick Aldis on SmackDown. He also went down to NXT and spoke to Shawn Michaels. Punk says Adam Pearce has put together a better deal. He says his mind has already made up. When he realized he will be in Cleveland. He says his future starts now. He said it's almost been 10 years to the day that he walked out. He says he's signing with Raw and he is home. And for the thing we thought we'd never get, or we would have to wait at least a good 2 months, we have Seth Rollins coming out. Business is about to pick up big time. Music hits and he walks to the ring. He stares down Punk and he grabs a mic. Rollins says Punk is fortunate to stand in this ring. He asks him not to call this place home. Rollins says Punk abandoned this place 10 years ago and he tried to tear it down, meaning he went to AEW. He says Punk slandered everyone and he wants to walk back and call this place home. He says this is his home, meaning Rollins' home. Rollins says everybody in the back is his family and this is their home and he will do everything to protect it from people like Punk. Rollins says he is a bit worked up. He then says he hates Punk, but if Punk is going to be part of WWE again, he wants him on Raw because the truth will come out. Rollins says this is Punk's last chance. He says either Punk will self-destruct and he will slam the door shut on his legacy, or Punk might have miraculously changed. He says maybe one day they could compete in a World Heavyweight Championship match. And he will expose him for the fraud he is. He said he will wrestle circles around Punk. CM Punk asks if he's done and says that was his one pass to speak to him disrespectfully. He said he has never asked for things to be handed to him. He said he is entering the Royal Rumble, and when he wins, maybe he will come after Punk. And I want to let you know, people, this segment was not produced. Everything was ad-libbed. This is now going to be the standard now. For the people that don't want a producer or don't need a producer, get on this level. They will trust you, and then you don't have to ever worry about your place in the WWE. And I'm loving it. I'm loving this. By the way, Raw was great. Raw was great. Bronson Reed versus Ivar. We go to commercial break. Ivar, we start the match, and Ivar attacks Reed in the corner. Reed comes back and knocks down Ivar. He then hits an elbow drop. Reed attacks Ivar in the corner. Both men exchange strikes. They knock each other down. They roll to the outside. They collide outside the ring. We come back from commercial break. Both men exchange strikes. Ivar hits the spine buster. Cover 1-2 kick out. Ivar knocks down Reed. He climbs to the top rope and dives onto Reed. Ivar climbs the top rope but is stopped. Reed suplexes Ivar for the win, and Bronson Reed picks up the win. CM Punk is walking backstage and he runs into Judgment Day. He asks, where is Rhea? Everybody loves Bunny. Damien welcomes him to their show. He says he hopes Punk wins the world title because he will be waiting, because he's Senor Money in the Bank. So Judgment Day heads out to the ring. We come back from commercial break. Damian Priest, he must remind everyone who they are and demands everyone to rise for them. Balor says Judgment Day are in town. Priest says they have a message for every WWE superstar. Everyone is to put on notice. R-Truth comes out to the ring. He says he went by the clubhouse to do some decorating but was locked. He says he's not invited to the holiday party. JD McDonough says this is not a party. Priest invites him into the ring. R-Truth says he has some ideas for the Judgment Day. He says they should kick JD out because no one likes him. He then says Priest should stop calling himself the boss because it makes mommy mad. All right, I kind of chuckled at that one, but still, this is ridiculous. Priest stops him and says he's a funny guy, which is why everyone likes him except Priest. Priest then clothesline Truth. All of them attack R-Truth. The Creed brothers come down to the ring and brawl with Judgment Day. They get tossed out of the ring. Julius suplexes Dominic and JD and then sends Balor out of the ring. They slam Priest to the mat. CM Punk runs into Drew McIntyre backstage. Drew says he only cares about finishing his story and walks away. Oh my God, how many fucking stories are we dealing with right now? Jesus fucking Christ. Priest says Drew is getting a world title match. Kofi Kingston, Gable, and Chad Gable and Ricochet walk and greet Punk. Pierce says they should talk in the office, and freaking goddamn Punk says, "Jamaican me crazy," and freaking Kofi says, "I don't do that no more." That was hilarious. That I find very entertaining. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. We come back from commercial break. The match starts with Indy knocks down Carter. Carter comes back with a drop kick. Chance tags in and knocks down Indy. She then hits a senton. Candice tags in and knocks down Carter. She hits a senton, cover 1-2 kick out. Candice with a neck breaker on Carter. Candice sends Chance out of the ring. Indy hits a spine buster on Carter. Chance tags in and Indy slams her on Carter, but she gets her knees up. Carter super kicks her and tags out. They hit the after party for the win. Very quick, very painless. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are backstage. Ciampa discusses their upcoming match. Kaiser and Vinci walk in and ask who will team up with them. Ciampa says they should worry what Gunther will say when they disappoint them again. Gunther walks in and wishes them luck. Becky Lynch is shown walking backstage. We come to commercial break. Becky is out in the ring. She gets on the mic and says she came out to call Nia Jax. She says they have never gone one-on-one and they have been linked together due to Nia breaking her nose. Lynch says they need to get to the root of the problem. She says they kept missing each other. She says she went on to main event WrestleMania. Nia's career took a different path. Nia comes out to the ring to join Becky in the ring. Nia says she's right in front of her. Nia says her punch was lucky swing that almost ended her career. She asks her to imagine what would happen if she punched her with a full force. Lynch says she doesn't hold anything against her because she is the most dangerous person in this ring. Nia says Lynch should thank her for her career. Lynch says that what is she trying to change? She says it is about getting back up and fighting back. She says she's proved her wrong, and it is a lie that she is a main event star because of Nia. Nia says Lynch needs to prove to everyone that her career wasn't an accident. She says she will always be the woman who made the man. Lynch asks her to shut up because she came looking for a fight. Nia says Lynch needs this more than she does and walks away. Jackie interviews Cody Rhodes, who says he is happy for CM Punk that he has signed on Raw. He had Nakamura not missed him in his eyes, he would have been excited to talk about this match. He says Nakamura is vicious, but he's okay with it. Imperium versus DIY and The Miz. Oh, why? We come back from commercial break. DIY's music, and they come out. The Mrs. music comes and plays out, and you could see Champa like, why, why, why? There's no reason for this. The match starts with Gunter attacks Gargano. He chops Gargano. Kaiser tags in and attacks Gargano. Vinci tags in and argues with Kaiser. Gunter stops them. Ciampa tags in and knocks down Vinci. Ciampa is sent outside the ring. Gunter with a big boot to Ciampa. We go to commercial break. Kaiser slams Ciampa and he tags out. He knocks Miz off the apron. He tags out and Vinci hits a running crossbody on Ciampa. Vinci attacks him in the corner. Gargano tags in and knocks down Kaiser and Vinci. Gargano hits a slingshot spear. Cover 1-2. Vinci breaks it up. Gargano super kicks Kaiser. Both men tag out and Miz attacks Gunter. He attacks him in the corner. He hits a springboard crossbody. He kicks Gunter multiple times, but Gunter catches him and locks him in a Boston Crab. Ciampa breaks it up. Gargano and Miz hit a double DDT on Kaiser and Vinci. Miz locks in the figure 4 on Gunter. Gargano locks in the Gargano escape on Kaiser. Vinci tags in and breaks it up. Vinci goes for the powerbomb, but Miz reverses into a skull-crushing finale for the win. Winner, DIY and The Miz. We go into the Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. This is, I believe, the main event. Come back from commercial break. Before we go to the match, we have Gunter yells at Imperium. He runs into Miz, who says he wants a title match. Gunter grants him the match under the condition that he can never challenge for the title again as long as he's champion if he loses. Cody Rhodes goes to the ring and Nakamura and whatnot. The match starts with Cody takes down Nakamura. Cody with a dropkick, he attacks Nakamura in the corner. Cody climbs up to the top rope, but stopped. Nakamura knocks him out of the ring. Nakamura, we come back from commercial break. Nakamura knocks down Cody Rhodes. Cody returns with an uppercut. He goes for a Cody cutter, but Nakamura catches him and goes for an armbar. Cody gets out of it. Nakamura with a sliding German suplex. Nakamura with a vicious knee strike. He goes for the Kinshasa, but Cody hits him with a basement dropkick. Punk with a Cody with a dragon screw on Nakamura. Cody plants Nakamura. Cody locks in the half crab. He gets to the rope. Nakamura rolls out of the ring. Cody dives onto him. We come back from commercial break. Both men exchanges strikes. Cody knocks down Nakamura. He hits him with a power slam. Nakamura locks in the sleeper hold. Cody fights out of it. Cody hits Nakamura with a disaster kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Cody with a bionic elbow. Cody with a Cody cutter. Cody goes for a crossroads, but Nakamura sprays with miss, and the referee disqualifies him. Nakamura attacks him viciously. So Cody with a DQ, which is kind of okay because I know that there's going to be a second match at some point. After the match, Nakamura hits him with a Kinshasa. Nakamura grabs a steel chair, and the Creed brothers come out to help Cody. As Cody is being helped to the back, Nakamura attacks him again. And that's the end of Raw, and that's the end of my show. So that is that. Oh, shit, I need this. Hello. So please do me a favor. Oh, please follow me on social media. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, TikTok, and Cameo. I am on Cameo. I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna go on X. You'll find all the links for all the other social media sites that I'm on. Please do that. Please Go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com, Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com, Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Please also go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. And if you want to go and check out Brace for Impact, because they're going to be going head to head with Impact Wrestling on Saturday, January 6th, 2024. We have Hog World Tag Team Championship on the line. ABC Club versus the main event. Gringo Loco versus Nolo Catano. Josh Alexander will be in action, and there's more to cover. Please go check everything out on hogwrestling.net. If you can be there, get the tickets on the website. If you can't, please subscribe to the Premier app for $9.99 a month. I will be back here this Thursday for episode 320, where I'm gonna give you, it's a regular podcast. There's no pay-per-view, but the following week for 2 Thursdays in a row, I will be going live on Thursday for episode 320 and 321 because of World's End, because I got to do the preview and prediction on that Friday, because I got to go see my son on that Saturday on the 30th. Please enjoy the rest of the holidays. I will be back here before Christmas, so enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live or upload a video, you will know about it. I love you all. I will see you next week, next Thursday. I don't know exactly what time. I'm going to try to do it super early so I can, enjoy the rest of the weekend and get ready for my son to come home for Christmas. Just enjoy, and I love you all, and I'll see you next week. All right. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.